Hey everybody, I am Marie with Aunt Ree's Quilt Shop, and today I'm going to show you how to take this stack of fat quarters and make this tower. It's a great way to store them on your shelves. It's a great way to display them if you have a shop. Now, this is not my idea. I actually learned this from my previous boss, and I believe she learned it from somewhere else when I worked at the Waco shop. And so, but this has been a very popular process when we are at shows. Let me see. When there have been a few times where we try to make several of these ahead of time. As you can see, I have these cut. They're just not yet folded into the tower yet. Um, when we have downtime at the shows, a lot of times we will work on stuff like this. I had these pre-cut for our last show. We were pretty busy and never had time to actually fold them. I did have two available on the shelves. I did order a line of fabric last summer, and y'all, we could not make these fast enough. We were literally cutting more fat quarters and putting together bundles on the fly. But when we were doing that, my daughter was folding these, and she would have people standing around the table watching her fold these. They're just mesmerized. So I've been planning to do this for a while. I'm finally getting around to it. Honestly, somebody ordered 3 of these, and so I have the other 2. I only had one left that was already made or put together. I had the other 2 fat quarter bundle or fat quarter sets already cut. So I'm going to show you how to fold them and make the tower look like this. I like these because, one, they're not wrapped in plastic. Sorry, guys. They're not wrapped in plastic. They're easier to see. You can see and touch. You can actually see all of the fabrics a little bit better. And so these have tended to be very, very popular at our shows. I sell these more than the actual plastic wrapped ones that I buy directly from Moda, Riley Blake, or wherever. We have actually started unpackaging the prepackaged ones for a few of them, especially if multiples, and folding them like this. And it's funny because given the choice, a lot of times the customer prefers this over the plastic wrap. Because the plastic wrap, yes, it's protected, yes, whatever, but you can actually see it a lot better with the and flip through the fabrics. So we're gonna get started. I have pre-cut all of these fat quarters, and then I'm gonna start from the beginning. They're already kind of folded and ready to put in the tower, but I'm gonna start from the beginning. So you have your fat quarter like this. Sorry, guys. I'm gonna fold it in half. So this here is our length. This end on this end is our selvage. Okay. So, and you can do this with any fat quarters. You can do it if you've got a whole bunch of fat quarters in your collection, in your stash. You can do it by color. You can do it by whatever you want to do, by line. It just makes it pretty. A lot of people say they don't even want to cut it because they don't want to bust it open. So anyway, we're going to fold it like this. We're going to fold it again so that I'm going to end up with a long, narrow piece here. Okay. And again, this is our selvage end over here. I'm going to lay it flat like this. Now this first step is a little bit different than the rest of it. Once you get this first part of it kind of situated, then the rest of it's going to go exactly, keep doing the exact same thing until you're finished with all of your fabrics. So I'm going to take my next one. I'm going to put it in the middle. Okay. I want to make it the opposite direction, as centered as I can. This is what you're going to do different on this one than you will on any other one. I'm going to take this end, I'm going to fold it to the edge of the other strip. Okay, we're going to do it on both sides. Then I'm going to fold it over and fold it over so that it is wrapped around. I don't want to tuck it under. Later on, we're going to start tucking it under. I do not want to do this with this first one, okay? So we're just going to fold it over on the top, and it's going to sit right here on top. Then we are going to turn the whole thing. And you want this fairly close to the center. It does not have to be absolutely perfect, but you want it pretty close. So now I've got this one here, and I've got this one that did go this way. So now I'm going to put this one here. Okay. We're not gonna fold this in. We're not gonna fold it like this. So I'm gonna take this one now. I'm gonna wrap it around the one that we just put on top. And there's this little gap right here. So right here, I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna tuck it in as tight as you can. Now you want it tight, but you want it smooth. You don't want it super loosey-goosey. The more you make of these, the tighter they are. The first few that you make can tend to be a little bit loose. So I'm going to kind of pull it tight. I don't want it like this. I want it pretty tight. And again, you've got this little gap right here. I'm going to tuck it in there. Make sure that it's nice and flat. Stick your fingers all the way in there. And now we've got this. So now I've got this laying here. And we are just going to keep doing the exact same thing until we get it all the way built. Again, I want to stick my hand in there, make sure that it lays flat. The more care you put into this, the flatter and the nicer it's going to look. And you're going to do this exact same thing all the way to the top. You're not going to move this fast to begin with. It's totally fine. I've done a few hundred, if not 1,000 of these over the years. And so I do tend to work a little bit faster. And this works from, I don't know that I would do less than like 5 or 6. If you are way off on the center, you can kind of adjust it a little bit. Make sure everything lines up. And we're laying flat in there. Right, and you're just going to keep going all the way until you have the entire tower made. Just making sure that everything's laying flat, everything's where they're supposed to be. And again, it does not have to be completely perfect. It's fine. So you can see that I'm starting to get the tower. And you're going to see half of your fat quarters on this side, half of your fat quarters on this side. Okay. So you're going to get a good view of all of them. If you display it at an angle like this, you see all of them. And you're just going to keep going with this until you get all the way to the top. Sorry. I tend to have a lot of this ribbon around when I have taken apart fat quarter bundles to make kits out of or something like that. A lot of times I don't order the whole line. I'll order a fat quarter bundle and some yardage to go with it. And sometimes if it's a fat quarter pattern, I can pull the fat quarters out and make kits with them without having to buy the entire line. So I have a lot of these Moda ribbons around. You can use whatever ribbon. If you have a signature color, my signature color for my shop is a teal color. Probably what I will do when I run out of these ribbons, which I'm sure I will at some point, I just keep them all in a little box when I pull them off. I will go to my signature color. I like to put a little tag on here. This was done at the show, but you can put a little hang tag on here. You can put the name of the line of fabric, and I'll go back and write this down or write it on here. I did put my daughter actually did put my little logo sticker here and a price tag on here. Now she did, because we were at a show, she did put a business card underneath. You don't have to do that, but you want people to remember where they got their fat quarter bundle from. You want to put as much branding on it as you can so that they know it came from you. So if they want more, if they want coordinating fabrics, or they have a question, they know who to contact. Everything that you take to shows, you want to make sure that there is something on it that has your shop name on it. I've started making little stickers. Actually, I think she stuck one under here. I started making little stickers They have my logo and my shop name on it. This goes on everything that I ship. It also goes on, I'm putting it on a lot of my products. And then another tip is I printed out some little QR codes. And if somebody wants to go to my online store, which I'm entirely online outside of pop-up events and shows, they can go directly to my website with a QR code and shop for more coordinating things, for other items, whatever. But if you have any questions or anything like that, just reach out, let me know, and I will let you know what I do. But again, this is a great way to display your fat quarter bundles. You can also do it with fat eights. It just makes a little bit smaller tower, and it's also taller. I don't know that I like that as much. But the fat quarters, it works perfectly. And we have made them in the past with 30. This is 20. You make 30 or 40, and it's just going to get taller and taller. And you can always lay it down to display it as well if it gets too tall and unstable. But if you keep it nice and tight and put a ribbon around it, you should be completely good to go. You don't have to put the ribbon on it. We just think it dresses it up a little bit more. You can totally leave it off and then just put a tag. You would want to put it through this, under this top layer here, because you want to, again, make sure that you mark everything with the price and with your branding information. So I hope this was helpful. Let me know if you have any questions. Y'all have a great day, and I will see you next time. Bye.